Probably one of my favorite things that Sledgehammer has added into World War II has been the community challenges that we've seen a couple of times now. We saw one for the overall variant of the Rosie 2 for the grease gun. That was a while back. Then we ended up seeing one in which we ended up getting a lot of stuff for Attack of the Undead, one of the big things being that of the Tesla gun and multiplayer. And now with this one, with Liberty Strike, we have a brand new one going on with honestly what I think is two really awesome rewards at tier 3 and tier 5. The other stuff is always really cool also. I'll detail that here in just a second, but that's honestly one of my favorite things that Sledge has added in post-launch is this ability to bring the community together for one common goal and to try and see if we can all do it. Now, to this day, we have successfully completed both of the ones before us, one with, I believe, Blitzkrieg and what was the overall reward of the Rosie 2 grease gun. Then we ended up completing, by and far, the Attack of the Undead for killing 2 billion zombies across multiplayer and zombies. And so in that sense, the pressure is on for now being the third time's the charm. 3 out of 3, will we complete it? So today I want to break down what we have at the very moment within the community challenge. Are we on pace with it? Are we slightly behind? And what it will take to get there if we are. So that said, hopefully this helps you guys out. I know I've gotten a ton of different tweets, comments, and different things about it in stream and anywhere else that you guys interact with me. A lot of people asking if we're on pace. So I wanted to break it down here for you guys and give you the actual mathematical lay of the land, so to speak, and let you know everything that's up with this community challenge. So right off the bat, for those of you guys that don't know much about the community challenge, you missed out on some of the announcements with the Liberty Strike trailer and what we detailed in the past week or so. Firstly, we end up having 5 tiers with that. The first tier will give us a Canadian calling card and 1 zombies consumable supply drop, which actually is available right now. If you log in or have logged in the past day and a half or so, it should be there in your mail station, but also the zombies consumable supply drop, if you jump into multiplayer, will be just given to you automatically. So you don't even have to go anywhere for that one. But then the tier 2 is the British flag weapon charm and 1 zombies consumable supply drop again. Tier 3 will give us the American 2 1911 weapon variant and 1 zombies consumable supply drop. And tier 4 will give us the Fez special helmet and again another zombies consumable supply drop. But the final one that we end up getting is a tier 5 reward of the Independent 2 M1 weapon variant as well as the Kitschy zombies weapon camo. So a lot of cool stuff, and of course the two that I'm really excited for, the American 2 and the Independent 2 weapon variants that we'll have on deck once we complete all of these. We showcased these from months ago because they were hidden in the game files and they were absolutely beautiful. Any way you spin it, I honestly think these might be some of my favorite weapon variants in the game, but they're going to be available for free just by completing the community challenge. Now, the overall task of the community challenge is to get 260 million multiplayer match wins out of the way. That does not count, say, 6 per match if there's 6v6 in a standard TDM. It is only 1 match overall. So whether or not you end up winning or losing, somebody in that game wins, so technically all you have to do is complete 260 million multiplayer matches. And that's something that, again, we already completed the stage 1 of this as of yesterday, in which that's about 52 million multiplayer matches already completed. But whenever we take a look at the mathematical breakdown of it, is it enough? So if we're to take a look at the average of what we need to complete from the very beginning, whenever we saw this on Monday when the Liberty Strike event started, to when it ends on the 24th, if that is in place for a full 22 days total, we need to be about at a pace of 11.8 million multiplayer matches completed per day, if not a little bit more. Now, unfortunately, at the very moment, there doesn't seem to be a tracker like we've had with the past ones. That's probably something coming in the early portions of the week once everything gets going for maybe the week refresh of the Liberty Strike event also. But as it stands right now, if you do that math once again, 52 million multiplayer matches completed to get that tier 1 completed and out of the way, that would average out in 5 days to be about 10.4 million matches per day. So at the current pace we're at, we'd want to finish it in 22 days, but we'd be actually doing it at a pace of 25 days to complete it. So therefore, we would be outside the parameters of when we'd actually be able to complete it in time. So as it stands right now, the answer is no, we wouldn't complete it if we are at this still pace that we're going at now. If we were to keep going at the same pace that we were up until the 24th of when this ends, we might end up getting past the 4th tier for the Fez special helmet, but we wouldn't actually reach that final destination of where we want to get at in the Independent 2 M1 variant. That to me is a little bit unfortunate because I'm very much so looking forward to that one. I'm not the biggest pistol user, but I'd definitely use the M1 Independent 2 if we end up getting that for free and because it looks fantastic. But that said, is it still possible that we end up getting it? Is it possible we can end up picking up the pace and actually completing all of this? Well, absolutely. We'll just need to get our pace up a little bit, and that is something that we can definitely do with some slight adjustment here. And also, we might end up actually getting some help from Sledge later down the line. And that sounds a little weird to say without any context, but I have zero proof of it. but when we were going for the Rosie 2 variant for the first community challenge we ended up having, I feel like we had some help towards the end of that community challenge. 2 or 3 days before we ended up finishing that up and before that community challenge ended, we were still well under pace by a few million of what we were going for. And that, to me, at the very end, whenever we completed it with about 12 hours left on the community challenge to get that Rosie 2, didn't really seem to add up to me for that one. But again, I have no proof of it, but I feel like we got a slight artificial boost in numbers so that we couldn't fail with that one, and so that Sledge just gave us that Rosie 2 grease gun variance for just playing and participating in it, and so therefore we were still guaranteed what we were going to get, even if we did theoretically fail, which again is quite possible it happens here for this one. I'm not necessarily banking on it, but again, I have no proof of it, but it just feels like that was what happened, and so therefore, maybe it happens again. Let's talk about how we get that average up. How do we get it up to being equal to or exceeding that 11.8 million matches completed per day that we need to hit to stay on pace, and to, I guess now since we're a little bit behind, actually we do need to exceed it, but it comes down to the game modes we end up playing. I don't know how much of a reach I'll have here with this sort of advice to everybody, but if I can, I urge you to tell your friends, tell anybody that does want to complete this sort of stuff, and maybe make some posts about it, share the ideas, or get some awareness here to this, but we should totally be populating the modes like Infected, TDM, Kill Confirmed, those shorter game modes that don't take as long. While some of the most populated playlists in Call of Duty World War II include Domination, stuff that is guaranteed to take almost 10 minutes every single time you spin it unless you triple cap everything, the game modes like Infected, like TDM, like Kill Confirmed, the things that don't really have that many times where it goes the time limit, those are the best bets here because they will be able to get them done much faster, and of course everybody can end up getting more of these done in one sitting. I know that I trying to do some challenges today for one of the daily orders of headshots even. I figure, you know what, let's go into Infected, I can get some shotguns. I don't usually use shotguns, but I do in Infected, I can get some of those headshots done for that daily order, plus completions for a bribe that I'm going for, and so therefore I actually took a little bit longer than I had thought, but in one sitting I ended up busting out almost a full 30 matches here with that. So just in a few hour time frame, already knocked off about 30 matches here of that. And of course, with so many more players around the world playing, I don't know how much that calculates out to, but it is something that of course you can do these much faster than say playing Domination, Hardpoint, or Search and Destroy, those game modes that will usually take you around 8 to 10 minutes to complete. You can end up busting out an Infected match about one every 3-4 minutes or so, even with that lobby time that you go back and you have to get the pre-game lobby encounter going down to start everything up again. So in that sense, it is much faster, much more reasonable, and much easier to do. And so in that sense, again, just do this and you will definitely make some headway for this. And of course, with the daily orders, including every single day a Liberty bribe for 30 matches completed, you'll be able to breeze through these as well. Right now, to my knowledge, I don't think there is a cap on them because I've gotten quite a few in the last 4 days or so, but it is something that, with that being something that also will help you out there, it's a double whammy in which you're helping the overall community, but also yourself in getting some more guaranteed items out of the Liberty Strike event. But ultimately, it just comes down to, once again, choosing those modes that are much quicker. Infected being my biggest recommendation here for this one. So if you guys are looking to not only complete the bribes for yourself, but also help out the community a little bit here at this one, really grind out Infected the next week and a half or so and make some headway on this, and we can end up doing this much quicker. Because again, whether or not Sledge ends up helping us out or not, we don't know, but it is something we can definitely help our own cause here by playing different modes than we normally would. TDM and Kill Confirmed are of course better than Domination and such because they don't take as long, but they are still a little bit longer, probably even with menus themselves, around 6-7 minutes each match or so. But with things like Infected, once again, only 12 players, a 2-minute time frame to start, depending on who ends up getting players infected and everything along those lines. It might be a little bit longer than say 3 or 4 minutes, but I think the most I've seen as of recently is about 4.5. But regardless, play Infected, let's get this going as a community because again, we can totally do this, we just need to up the pace a little bit more. And so therefore, I think it just comes down to that shift in what we play. So spread the word, Infected is that new game mode we all have to play as a community if we want to get the full list of the rewards, that including the Canada Special Calling Card, the British Flag Weapon Charm, the American 2 1911 variant, the Fez Special Helmet, and the Independent M1 variant, as well as the Kit Sheik Zombies camo as well. So a lot of cool stuff on the horizon. We can totally do it, but right now we just need to pick up that pace ever so slightly. So that said, hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully this answered some of that questions you may have, and so therefore it also brings some awareness to this that we are close, but still slightly behind the 8 ball on this. But again, hopefully you enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Do you think we will get it? Do you think that we'll get some help from Sledge by artificially boosting our numbers? Whatever you may think, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Love to get a conversation going here regarding this. And also, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you drop a like down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss a single thing regarding Call of Duty World War II content here up on the channel. And of course, anything regarding Call of Duty in general, we got you covered. So if you want to stay up to date with all that kind of stuff, make sure that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing. And if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube. Practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to share up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. And finally, if you guys also want to follow me over on Instagram, get a little more active over there. So that link is as well in the description below for you guys to check out if you're interested in that. But all that said, now the way, I hope you guys had a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching. Get to grinding some infected matches so we can make some headway on this. And I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.